All right, I'm going to go ahead and get rocking here, Jennifer. If we get some more people on, that's cool. It should notify me if people are trying to get in through the lobby. But
Okay.
again, want to be respectful of everybody's time. So yeah, today we're going to go through the KW app. We're going to go through part of that as well, which is a big advantage for you guys to use is the buyer's guide. It actually KW has actually created, and they include both a buyer's guide and a seller's guide included in the app. And we'll talk about like how that integrates in. We're going to work in Command a little bit, but then I'll switch over to my phone and we'll actually walk through the app because that's one thing that I have been noticing. A lot of the agents aren't familiar with their own app, so they're not pushing it out there, which is understandable. But if we don't do that, of course, and everybody's going to keep using things like Zillow and Realtor, Realtor.com, has their own version of the app, etc. And there's some great benefits to actually using the app and the type of information that you'll garnish from that in the background. So
Okay.
let me pull this. So there's my let me share my screen with you guys here real quick. You guys, as in you and the other David. There we go. Can you see that okay?
Yep. Oh, I see restart option. Oh, that's me. Sorry.
Right. Yeah, if you've got a window in front, I can't do anything about that. All right.
My computer wanted to do a restart. That's what was.
Oh yeah, that's not good.
Okay.
Not
No, I got it.
anyway.
I changed.
Yeah, no worries. So here's our basic agenda today. We're going to talk about how to go through the initial setup for your branded KW app within Command. We're going to walk through the Kelly guide for choosing your consumer settings for your app, how you can actually edit and personalize your buyer's guide, which also applies to the seller's guide. That's why we only go through one. The way that you edit and change that thing around is the same exact way. So if I show you in one, you'll be able to work on both the buyer's or the seller's one, which is good. We're going to talk about there's actually two things called smart steps within the buyer's guide that cannot be changed. So we definitely want to make sure that we point those out. And then we're also going to switch over to my phone here. We're going to walk through some of the KW app basics and also how within the app, then you can share the app with other people. And there's other ways to do that within Command as well, using, email campaigns or, just texting it out or even setting up, a smart plan, which we'll talk about as well, because that can help automate that process for you. Okay. So the first thing that I always like to bring up, and this is the big thing that when I mentioned that we had, I've been finding there's a lot of misconception about this. I have a lot of agents that'll download the app and they're always constantly asking me, how come I can't log in as an agent? So I always want to point this out. Once you download your KW app, keep in mind that there is no agent login. It doesn't exist. Okay. As long as you've done your branded app, that app is branded to you. However, you're going to be prompted to create another login or another account. Okay. But that's your consumer login. All right. So that you can get in when the consumers get in there and they log in, you can capture them as leads and you'll be able to track their engagement with your app. So don't worry about an agent login, but you do want to make sure that you're using your branded app, if that makes sense. Okay. Hopefully it'll make more sense as we go through this. As an agent, the best practice that we always like to put out to everybody is to just go ahead and, just like any other consumer or client that you have, is to create an account for yourself. That's not only going to allow you to see.
I'm losing.
Can you hear me okay, Jennifer?
Yeah, I might switch to another room. It might be me. It was kind of lagging there a minute.
Maybe the Wi-Fi is a little wonky.
I can hear you now.
Okay, cool.
I mean, I see a full. That's you. I should see what mine is. But go. If I move, I'll just walk into another room.
Okay. Yeah, if it starts bugging out and you need me to pause for a sec, just let me know, since it's just me and you today. But just continuing on, as an agent, we always like to put out that your best practice that we always put out to everybody is just for you within your own branded KW app to just go ahead and create your own account just as if you're another consumer. That's going to allow you to get into the app, to play around with it, to see all of the full functionality that's within there. And it is essential, though, that you share your app from within the app. That's actually the easiest way to share your app. And I will walk through those steps on the phone so you can see exactly what it looks like. The key, however, though, is if you have your branded app, but you were not logged in, you share it with the client, they're going to get it just like they got it from some generic person, you know, so it's not going to be branded to you. That's not going to carry over, and it won't have that ability for you to see what your clients are doing in the background, which is part of the whole advantage to having the branded app in the first place. Okay. So just like to bring up that point right from the get-go. Let's go ahead and I'm going to bounce over to command here. Back
Hang
out
on.
here.
Are you there?
Yeah, I'm here. I can hear you, Jennifer.
Okay, I can hear. I'm just gonna walk into another area of the house and hopefully I can get it better.
Yeah, no worries. I'll give you a second to get settled here. No problem.
And I think I do have the right app because I think Angela had me do that when we
Okay.
went through orientation, but we'll see when you get to that point.
Yeah, and I'm going to show you how to check that right now, actually. So
Okay.
we will make sure and verify. The app kind of seems like the what do they call that, the redheaded stepchild,
Yeah.
where like people have it and they know that it's there. They're not sure of the capabilities, but just like the agent login, it's like, well, I don't know really what to do with it. How do I share it, etc. Why should I even be using it? So that's some of the stuff that I'm hoping will clear up today.
Okay, and then look, I have my own IT department. You can. My
Am
daughter's
I
here.
allowed to come?
Hey, right on. Hello,
giving me
Jennifer's
her,
daughter.
I don't really want to hear.
She's giving me her AirPods, so they don't
Oh,
hear
right
us.
on.
Let's see.
Okay, hang on,
There
dude.
you go. Yeah, no problem. You are the full audience today, so you're good to go.
Sorry, will be 1 second.
Yeah.
Yep, no, you're good. Just let me know when you're ready.
Okay.
All right. Okay. Can you hear me, David?
Yeah.
Okay, good. We're all set. Thanks, Liz.
Good to go?
Appreciate it.
All right.
Yeah, they're laughing at me.
That's okay. We all need a
Okay.
little help. Even tech directors need help sometimes.
See?
I've got two
There.
teenage boys
All
at my
right.
disposal too. So yeah, when we jump into command here, the one thing I always want to show everybody is when you come up here to your name and your headshot photo, you've got that little arrow. When you click on it, you get the command menu. I'm going to go over here and click on settings. And when I click on
I think
settings,
all I see is your PowerPoint presentation. Am I supposed to see?
that should be closed. You see it now?
No, that's what I see. Please take note from your PowerPoint.
Okay. I'm going to close that down. Here, I'll tell you what, I'm going to stop my share and then restart it again, Jennifer. It might have just got froze up on, there we go. Now, do you see command?
I see KW Consultants has started screen sharing. Double click to enter full screen.
Okay. And when you accept that, it should show my my command screen.
So where do I double click? Just in the screen? It's just
I
black.
can't see yours, so I'm not sure.
I know.
Do you have a full window, or do you just have like a small
Yeah.
box right now?
No, I have a full window,
Okay.
and it just says KW Consultants has started screen sharing, but it doesn't show me what you're sharing.
You can't see my command window?
No.
Well, that's not good. Here, let me try this
I
one
see
more
you.
time.
Oh, I see you now.
Yeah, I just turned the sharing off. Let me try one more thing here and see if this works. How about that?
Nope, just dark.
Nada?
Nada.
Well, that's not good. Can you maximize your Zoom window so that it is taking up full screen?
Yep. I'm there, but still nothing.
Still nothing. I don't know why the screen share is not coming across. Stop it again. Probably see me again. Hang on, let me look at my sharing. Book and share participants. Okay, so those are good. All right, let me try this one more time. Go figure that the tech director would have more tech issues than everybody else, right?
Not necessarily.
That's the way it is again. Okay,
It just says it started sharing, but I don't see anything.
that should be, it should be right there. I've got my command maximized on my screen.
It says you're viewing KW Consultant screen, but all I see is a black screen and then KW Consultants has started screen sharing. I don't think there's anything on my end. I'm at the 100%.
You're like maxed out on your window right now?
Yeah, and I'm at follow presenter's pointer. Maybe I
Okay,
can exit.
let me try something real quick here. Jennifer,
You-
just to see if this works this way.
Do you see it on your phone?
Hang on just one sec. Yeah, I see it on mine.
No.
Hang on just one second. Can you see that?
Nope.
Really?
Mm-mm.
That's so weird.
And I've done this a lot before on both sides, either receiving it or sharing my screen.
Yeah, I'm actually like sharing my phone screen with you right now. You can't see any of that?
Mm-mm.
Do you have time to maybe sign out and sign back in again?
Yeah. I'll do that.
Let's try that real quick, and I'll stay
Okay.
right here and wait for you to come back.
Okay.
All right, thanks.
I'm
Here
here.
we go. And
Yep.
she's back.
I'm back. Let's see if this
All
works.
right, let's try this again. Fingers crossed, toes crossed. Going to share.
Ah, there.
Now you can see my command.
Yeah.
Yay. Okay, so the standard Microsoft solution works. Shut it down and get back in again. Okay. All right. Well, now that we're here, what I was going to show you is let me come back to home screen just so we can back out here. Make sure you know how I got to this. When you come into command and you're at your home screen, if you come over here where your headshot photo is and your name, click on that little down arrow, you get the command menu. We're going to go to settings.
Mhm.
And when we get to settings, the first screen that you see is where command is connected or integrated with all of the different apps that you have available, whether it's the default ones or if you've added other ones from the KW Marketplace. So
Mhm.
like right at the top, you'll see your DocuSign or Dotloop or both
Mhm.
connected, your Facebook stuff, etc. As I scroll way down here to the very, very bottom. Nope, sorry, wrong one. It's under Connect Settings and then Marketing Profile. That's where I want to go. Way down to the bottom here. This is where you can look and make sure that you have your branded KW app. Okay. At the very bottom, it'll say your branded KW app link. If you set it up, it will be there. And that's the link that you're going to want to share out with everybody. Okay.
Okay.
All right. So I've got one set up. Hopefully yours is in your command.
Yeah, I'll double check. I haven't been in command. So I mean, I think I did the first time. That's why I'm like,
In a
I
little
need to do it
while.
more.
Yeah, that's okay. But yeah, I would put a check mark next to that as a homework assignment.
Yep, I
And
have
just
it
check
right
that it's
here.
there.
I wrote it
But
down.
if not, that's okay, because I'm going to walk you through like how to get it again, and then we'll work on playing with it a little bit here. Now the KW app is considered part of the consumer facing products for command. So they basically consider anything that's a website, your agent site, the landing sites. Those are also websites or just standalone web pages with a unique URL or the app itself. To be part of the consumer portion. So over here on the left, where you've got all your navigation applets in command, it's the very, very last one on the bottom, and it says consumer. So I'm going to click on that. And hopefully command wakes up. There we go. So now when you come in here, you see the things I mentioned before. Your agent site pages are up on the top, your landing pages, and you do have a guide builder here as well. But to just show you how to do this right from the get-go, just in case, you've got an option over here that says Site and App Settings. I'm going to go ahead and click on that. And then once you get in here, you'll see like they call them the hero images, kind of from your website where they have the background images. You can use the defaults, or you can get in there and change there. But over here, again, on the right-hand side, you've got Learn More with the Kelly Guides. I'm going to go ahead and click on that.
I know I have that app too.
Yeah. And when you click on that, it asks you, would you like to learn more of the guides? Would you want to learn about the agent site, or do you want to learn about your consumer settings? We're going to go into consumer settings.
Okay.
And then click on continue.
And just real quick, when you say website, is it my Beering Faust website, or do I have a separate website with just?
There is a
Undercover.
KW agent site that we can create for everybody, but if you're
Okay.
on a team, the teams have either already built out a really big site,
Yeah.
or they're using possibly another website vendor such as Wix, or some of the other ones.
Okay.
Create a team site.
Mhm.
So you may or may not have one. A lot of people, and it depends on how the team is run. Some people, they still allow the solo agents within the team to kind of brand themselves, or some teams, when they come into the team, like everything is team branded.
Mhm.
So if you did have one before, they usually have like people reroute to the team site, etc. That's all based on the team. So
Okay, I'll go look and see. I don't know. I mean, I've only looked at the Keller or the
okay.
Beering Faust one.
Yeah, I mean, if you have one set up, it would be under that same consumer applet, Jennifer, and
Okay.
you could just click on where it said the agent pages, and if you'll see it, if you've created it, there's 3 pages there by default, or if you've added other ones, it's there, and it'll show
Okay.
you what the URL is too. So,
Okay, perfect.
okay, good questions. So yeah, we're going to learn about the Kelly Guide. We're going to go to the consumer settings. I've got that selected. Click on continue. You're leaving your website. Yes, that's fine. I'm going to leave. And then it's going to go ahead and it's going to launch the Kelly Guide for the client settings. Okay. And we're just going to kind of walk through this little step by step. It says, what should I expect to get out of this guide? This is where you learn to set up and customize your client experience with your app. So it's how to set up your KW app. It's how to customize your guides. And then after that, after you've got it all set up and the buyers and the sellers guide set up, then how to market your app as well. Hang on just a sec. Sorry, I don't know what I got on my glasses. So we'll just go ahead and we'll click on that get started button. And again, if you do find that yours is created, you won't have to walk through this process. It's already done. But this, I mean, even just knowing this, it's good for you and to be able to show other people on your team as well. So the first step, it brings it in and just kind of tells you, there's basically 3 big things here. One, you can create a premium app experience. You can manage your client relationships using the app, and you can also share your app with your clients. And each one of those has a learn more. And I do encourage people to look on these. I'll just look, I've got them already pulled up here. So one is how to, customize your consumer guide. If I were to click on that, it takes me into the KW Answers area. And it literally gives you like a tutorial on how to walk through exactly what we're about to walk through. Okay. If you ever need any more help on that, that's a great place to go back and walk through that stuff. How to manage your consumer guide steps in Command. Same thing, show you how to come in here and actually work that with your contacts. One of the great things is you can actually manage the steps from your buyer's guide or your seller guide within your opportunities as well. If you have your clients there and they are on your branded app, which is great. You can literally go in there and check off if they've done step 1, step 2, etc. Okay. And then also how to share the app. That was the 3rd one there. There's that big warning that I warned you guys about. Hey, don't forget once you download that, there's no agent login. But then it actually goes through some of the stuff also that we're going to do as well. But again, if you ever need to come back and see that stuff, you can. Okay. The last one there is if you want to learn more, there is a Connect Live page. And I believe I pulled that. Yeah, here we go. I pulled that one up as well. If you clicked on that one, it would just take you to Connect. This is where they've got some great tutorials, some great educational stuff. There's articles, but then there's also videos as well. And if I scroll down here, I think it's the 3rd section is the command and your consumer experience, which talks all about your KW app and the sites as well. And right down here, you can see they've got getting started with your KW app, how to customize your customer experience, how to launch and share your app, and then some how to manage some stuff down here as well. And these are great little bite-sized videos. That's why I like to bring them up. you know, kind of like Marty Miller, if you've ever looked at any of his 66-day challenge
Mm-hmm.
videos, you know, you can see there it's like 2 minutes, 5 minutes, 8 minutes. It's not a great like investment of time, like hours and hours in your day, but they give it to you in little bite-sized pieces, and it's makes it really easy to learn and digest it that way too.
Okay.
So, and that all came from the Kelly Guide tutorial. So that's what all these would be, but we're just going to go ahead and click on next and kind of step through this process. And as soon as I do that, it puts us into the actual wizard for setting all this stuff up. First step was, hey, we're going to show you all the education that we have available for that. The next one is to do your consumer settings. If I click on these little arrows here, it'll pull me into each area. You can see I kind of get a little preview over here of like downloading the app. Because I have the app already set up, you can see that some of this stuff is grayed out for me. I'm not going to launch into these steps because if I do, it's going to basically say, hey, you've already got it set up. Or do you want to go to these settings? And it'll kick me out of this wizard. And I don't want it to do that.
No, but so is the app though itself white with the KW in red? That's the one I have on my phone.
Is that what the actual icon looks like?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's white and it just has the red KW in there. Jennifer.
Okay, then
Yeah,
I have
absolutely.
it. That's good. Okay, then I have
Yeah,
it.
that is good. And again, I'll show that as soon as we get done with the stuff here, and then I switch over to
Okay.
my phone. You'll be able to see it on my phone as well.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what you would do is you kind of step through this wizard and go through these steps. It gives you the resources to download the app, whether you have an iPhone or an Android, and then it actually will give you your branded KW link, just like I showed you in the market profile settings. It would allow you to set up any of the featured listings you wanted to. You could search MLS or search, command, etc. for those. So rather than hit start, I'm going to go ahead and just skip that step. We'll just kind of walk through these. The next thing, it's actually pulling some information from my marketing profile. So you can see that's the power behind command. If you set up that marketing profile. So it's already got my headshot in there, my name. It's got the market center address. And this is basically your introduction when you go through the guide builder. So it has a setup, doing the introduction, doing the actual guide, and then you go through to review them and enable them. And as soon as you enable them, they show up in command. And you can always go back and edit those. And that's kind of what we're going to do. We're going to get into command and edit them. I just like to show everybody where did they come from in the first place, you know, just in case you don't have the app or you haven't done that step. Okay, so that would be the guide builder. Step 3. I'm going to skip to the next one here, which is a smart plan. What it does is it walks you through. There's a pre-made smart plan in command. The smart plans are just, they've automated the process for doing a lot of your reach out or your marketing, etc. And what they've done is they set up some steps here so that you can just assign contacts to those, and it'll automate the process to put your branded KW app in the hands of your clients. Or if you want to do it on a Facebook ad, that's a great way to get some lead generation with your app. Okay, lots of different ways to do that. Okay, so just walk you through kind of a 3-step process for that one, and we'll go over that when we get into command as well. And then the very last thing, when I hit next, it's just gonna kick me out. So this, hey, your app is ready to go. It's time to let the world know. And now, hey, you can share it on social media. You captivate a data-driven video. You can do like neighborhood videos within command. And then put the link on there as well. And then your advertising strategy, that would just be going into command campaigns and doing an email campaign, a direct mail, not a direct mail campaign, excuse me, text campaign or social media posts or ads as well. Okay. So that's kind of where it all comes from initially. So with that in mind, now we're going to go.
That's behind the green curtain kind of thing.
That is literally behind the, yes, you that's a great phrase. And yeah, I might have to, that's not copyrighted.
Yeah.
From the Wizard of Oz. No, that's pay no attention to the man behind the curtain.
Yeah, but you still wonder what's behind there and all the buttons are pushing.
Exactly. So we're back in command, Jennifer, and we're back to the consumer applet over here. So again, once again, you've got your agent site pages, landing pages, and now that you have the app and you've gone through the guide builder initial setup, like I said, when I click here on guide builder, mine show up for me now. Okay, so you can see over here, you've got the buyer's guide, you've got the seller's guide. They are created by David Satterfield, so I do have them branded to me. That's how you'll know. And then it does tell you how many steps are in each one. We've got 10 different default steps in the buyer's guide, and we got 5 in the seller's guide. Of course, we're going to go through editing that, so you can add or delete. But the other cool thing is once you get the app and start putting it in the hands of your clients and you start, people start downloading it, it'll tell you right here how many people have actually gone into these through your app as well, which is
Okay.
kind of nice. You can kind of see in the background. I always tell people don't stalk people on social media personally. It's creepy and weird. But doing something like this is okay to like be like Big Brother. Some people that you said, you know, I feel like Big Brother watching in the background. But when it's business like this and that's the full intent of it, then don't feel bad about that.
Yeah.
All right, so I'm going to go over here. These three little dots, I'm going to click on those ellipses and it'll give us this edit guide option for the buyer's
Mhm.
guide. We're just going to pop in there real quick and walk through some basics. Okay. You can see when we come in here that if I scroll down, those are all those different steps that we mentioned before. The buyer's guide has
Mhm.
10 default steps. Okay. So we've got, start your search. What can I afford? Get pre-approved for your loan, tour some homes, make an offer, execute a contract, home inspection, home insurance, home warranty, and then close the deal. Okay.
Mhm.
So that's all well and good. Some of the things
And,
that you
and within those tabs, do they
Yeah.
allow like, what can I afford? Do we put in there like, hey, here's a few lenders that, or something if you
Oh
want to
yeah, and,
update?
and we're gonna do that in just a
Okay,
second.
see, I'm ahead
Yeah,
of the
'cause I
game.
want
Okay.
my goal is not so just to put the buyers and the sellers guide in your hand, but I want you to be able to personalize it and
Mhm.
add whatever information that you want to add if it's not there, or even if it's you don't even want that stuff, you can take them out if you want. So
Mhm.
a couple different ways to do that. So just some basic stuff. You can move these around. I mean, some of these obviously are in the right order, but if you added steps or you wanted to move them, I just go these
Mhm.
6 little dots and see how I kind of grab them and move them up and down. You
Mhm.
can order them however you want to order them. Um, the other thing over here, I always like to remind everybody, don't worry if you make a mistake while you're in here. Get a lot of people that freak, oh my gosh, I think I deleted something wrong or, hit the
Mhm.
wrong thing. If you remember back in Microsoft Word, you used to have these little undo and redo buttons up on the top, little
Mhm.
circular arrows. So you do have those available to you as well. If you make a mistake, don't worry, just hit the undo button, you're good to go. I do like to remind everybody, just like when you're working on a Word document or a PowerPoint, save your changes often. So as
Mhm.
you're going through each section, or especially if you add a big thing of text, save that right away and don't chance it. Especially if you just typed it in from scratch or something, that you would lose that. Okay.
Mhm.
We'll go into the steps there in a second here, but I also want to show this is the introduction right up here that it mentioned when we were in the Kelly Wizard, and you can tell it looks like the exact same thing. Okay.
Okay.
I can come in here and I can update this instead of saying
Mhm.
your timeline guide. I'm just going to call this your buyer's timeline.
Yeah.
Sounds a little better. And then I tell everybody, even if you don't think you want to modify a step, click on the step and read the text, because you'll notice I'm a solo agent. Okay. And if I come in here, this sounds like, hey, congratulations. We are excited to be, well, I'm not a team. So I'm going to
Mhm.
want to change kind of the verbiage or the tense on there to
Mhm.
be, I am excited, not I are excited. So that obviously, so that it sounds verbally or vernacularly, is that what they say?
Mhm. Mhm.
Use this timeline to help you stay on top of everything. And of course, I will provide you some insights as you go. Okay. And you can see the updates update over there. And just like I said, every time I make a change, I'm going to hit save changes to save that on there. So that one looks good. Let's go over here to the guide. And on the guide, it's actually very easy. As soon as I click on any of these steps,
Mhm.
you'll notice that the configure guide step menu shows up over on the right hand side, and it shows you all of the different information that's there by default, and you can change it. So the workspace type, this is the educational step. It's just giving them information basically. The card image, it's got a default one on there, but if you have some photos and you want to personalize this to maybe your listings and some of
Mhm.
the homes that you or your team has worked on, you can always click this replace image button. And if I have stuff that I've already pulled into command, it'll show up here under list of images, or I can click on this add
Okay.
images
Drag
button.
it in.
Yeah, and you can either just drag it in or click on it like here, boom, here's some stuff
Right.
that I found that I enjoyed. I'll just change one just for the fun of it.
Would people ever put their logos there? Their like team logos or just?
You can as just remember that you do have to stay in compliance with that stuff. We just had an instance of
I
that
know.
on Facebook with the office.
But
Or
it's a
somebody
lot.
did an ad and some posts and their team logo was a lot bigger than the
Yeah.
consultant's logo.
No,
So,
I've got
yeah.
that one down.
Yeah.
But I would just take the Deering Fast logo that has Keller Williams Deering Fast that we have. Like I wouldn't create anything or just put them.
Yeah,
Okay.
right. Or even if you wanted to swap out the property photos, you could put the Berry & Faust logo within the property photos.
Okay.
So that's another way to do it that I've seen done as well. And
Okay.
that's perfectly acceptable because then it's only, something like a footer, down in the corner, et cetera, and you never
Mhm.
have to worry about the size thing. Okay. So very easy to change the photos out. If I scroll down the card title, you can see start the search.
Mhm.
That's just sorry. That's
Mhm.
just the big title that shows up over here on the top.
Yep.
And then you've got your card subtitle, which is the information that shows up down below that. However, when they're viewing the guide, they actually see a lot more text. And this is what I'm talking about. The workspace details, this is what you were asking about. This is a very descriptive area and it can hold a lot of text. I honestly don't remember the amount of characters, but I have seen these very large text areas in here that have been put in either by agents or by the teams as well. So like
Which
you
I
were,
get, but at the same time, people, when they're on this, they only do a couple bullet points and then you've lost them.
yeah. And so you can make it as long and informative and robust if you want to, or if you guys are more like succinct and to the point, or, you've kind of got your thing down and you know exactly what you want to put in there. And we've got like these 7 specific bullets, or what did you mention before? Jennifer, maybe
Like,
contact
you know,
information for
Lenders,
lenders.
or if there's
Yeah.
like, something.
Yeah, this would be the place that you add that information. So you can either type it in from scratch, or if you've got that information somewhere else, you can always copy and paste it in here as well. I'm a
Mhm.
big proponent of doing things the efficient way, so I'm a big copy and paster. But those would be the areas that you would do that in. Okay.
Okay.
And again, if I make any changes, I always want to click on that save changes. And now when you go out, you can see that it actually took my new photo in there as well. Okay. All right. So a couple other things I'll show while we're in here. If you do reach a step, maybe not to start the search, but I'll scroll down. Maybe on the home tours, etc.
Mhm.
For
Mhm.
whatever reason, there's a step in there. There's 10 default steps. You decide there's a step that I don't want. You can always click on this remove step, the little trash can button, and it will
Mhm.
just delete that right out of there. Okay.
Okay.
So I'll do the home tours just to show it. And you see that that's gone now. It doesn't exist anymore. The two that I was mentioning before are called smart steps, and those are ones that cannot be changed. Okay. And the two smart steps, let me scroll down there, are your get pre-approved step and also your home insurance, which should have been, down there as well.
Mhm.
Okay.
Mhm.
So, and the reason for that is on the get approved, the default for that step is as soon as they click on that, it's actually going to, and you'll see this when we get in the app as well. It's actually going to launch them automatically over to the Keller Mortgage site. Okay.
Oh, okay. So
In there.
maybe then they don't want me to put other mortgage companies in there.
Exactly. But I mean, that is a default one to drive business to Keller Mortgage. However, you can remove that step. You notice if I click on it, it's got the trash can.
Oh,
So I
let
can
you do that.
get off
Okay.
of there. Okay. But and then you could always come down here and there's an add a step button. And maybe I even want to call what'd you call it?
Mortgage, who
Mortgage.
do you call? What mortgage companies are local, or what? Just something about mortgage companies.
Yeah, how about local mortgage
Yeah.
companies and lenders? How about that?
Mhm.
Boom. And then I would put in it's up 30 limit max. Okay, well. Local mortgage.
You just put my local mortgage.
I'll just say
lender.
companies. Yeah. Just
Yeah, something.
and then same thing, you put, the subtitle in there. Please, check out our list of local mortgage lenders.
Mhm.
And same thing, you can add an image if you want to. It's telling me that that's required, so I'm
Mhm.
going to do that. And then when I hit continue, then boom, I've got local mortgage companies right here. And again, if I
Alright.
wanted to move that, I could always drag that up.
Right.
Maybe I want that, closer up to where, what was it? The get pre-approved used to be.
Mhm. Mhm.
There we go. So
Mhm.
I could, wherever I want it, I could put it before it,
Yeah.
after. So, Okay.
Okay.
And then the other one that I mentioned is the home insurance. The home insurance is the one that goes to the Keller Covered site automatically. So for home insurance, if they want to look at that. So again, you could leave those in there and then add optional ones. You could add your own local ones if you like to drive business there. You have preferred vendors, and you could remove them as well. So totally up to you which one you would want to do. Okay.
Okay.
All right. The other thing I want to show is, let's say you do take out one of those default steps, whether it's the smart steps or any of them for that matter. And then you decide, like it's a few steps later, so you can't hit the undo button. It only does one undo, by the way. And you decide, oh, shoot, I need to put that step back in again. I didn't mean to actually delete that, or we decided, hey, we actually do want that. You can click on the add step, and the default here is to create a custom one for yourself. But then you've also got this option over here, select a default step. So if I click on that and then I choose this little menu, you can see that tour homes that I took out earlier. Maybe that was by accident. Yeah,
Okay.
I just click on that again, hit continue, and boom, pops it right back in there for me again.
Okay.
So don't ever worry if you accidentally do it. It's there
Nothing's
for you.
permanent.
Yeah, exactly. So that's kind of the process to walk through editing each one. I mean, you would literally just go to each and every one, click on it, pull up the workspace area, and customize your titles, your subtitles. You can see down here the workspace details. What can I afford? That tells you right there. Preview the Smart Step workspace. It's got a link in there, so that's one of the ones that links off. But you can update those titles and stuff if you want to. Okay.
So, and you said that, like, obviously these are stock photos, but you could, if you had a listing or someone bought something and it was on the MLS or our team did it, we could use those photos, or do you still have to get permission from the previous owner, new owner, if you're going to use a photo from the
Because
MLS?
it's not for the purpose of a transaction, like you're not actually selling or buying a home, like helping a client do that. I would get specific permission. I've never heard of anybody getting into the legal problems with that.
Right.
But being a marketing guy, I mean, I know legalities and copyrights and stuff
Right.
like that.
That's what I'm asking.
It would
And
not
then,
be a bad idea.
or stick with the stock photos.
Yeah, exactly. All righty. So I'm going to go ahead and we'll save all our changes on that one. And that's kind of your process. You just go through each one of those, either on the buyer's guide, your introduction. If you want to go over and you can edit your seller's guide, it works exactly the same way, moving them around, deleting steps, adding them steps, or just clicking on them to personalize with your own information. Okay. All right. So from there, what's going to happen is these are going to be automatically updated within your KW app, which is, give me 1 second. I'm going to switch over my screen sharing here. And I'm going to go ahead and pull up my phone so we can get into that. Start broadcast. 3, 2, 1. Come on now. There we go. Awesome. Can you see that okay, Jennifer?
Almost. It's I see the Zoom screen broadcast. Oh, there. Now you're sharing screen.
It says your screen share. There's my phone.
Yep. I see.
Okay, excellent. I just want to make sure since we had problems before. Yeah, so we're in my phone now. Okay, kind of messy here.
Okay.
But if you look on the bottom right there, I've got the KW app. That's the one you mentioned before, right? White background.
That's what I have.
Yep. I'm going to go ahead and click on that. Now, if you have not gone into your app for the first time, like personally, like we mentioned before, as a consumer, it may ask you or walk you through that step, or the wizard, sign in or create an account. And that's
I think it did, because I can see my
Okay.
profile and I can see the feed and
Okay, excellent.
everything's empty, but
That's always good to know. All right.
Okay.
So what it'll do when you come in here, this is exactly, like I said, there's no agent login. This is literally a consumer app. So you are acting as a consumer, so up at the top, it just brings you into the search area. I could do a search. I could, filter that by prices, property type, all kinds of other things. But if you look down there at the very bottom to your menu or my menu, I've got search, feed, and guide. I'm going to go ahead and click on guide, and there is my buyer's guide.
Perfect. I see mine. I see it.
And so there's all those default steps. Now I saved mine, but I haven't updated my app yet. So that should refresh and bring in the changes. And then right next to that, there's my seller's guide as well. Okay. And just again, as a consumer, when I click on that, this is what you actually see. That's what you're going to see that we were just editing. Your photos, your text, This one, again, is just one of the educational ones. And so within this, the consumer can either just click on next step and they go from step 1, step 2 down to 10, or if you've edited it, however many you have. But they can also mark a step as completed. There's no way for you to control that. That's all based on what the consumer does. They might be smart enough to say, hey, we've already read through that. We'll click on it. Or they might just say next step. That I hate to say, but that's what most people do is they just go to the next one.
Mhm.
I'm going to click on X, get out of that one. The
Okay.
what can I afford? I mentioned this before that's one of our smart steps. So notice when I click on that, it gives me a mortgage calculator.
Oh, I love that.
Okay. So it's automatically in there for you, which is kind of nice.
Okay.
Okay.
And
All
then,
right. And then
just-
get pre-approved was a smart step. You can see now when I click on that, it goes to the Keller Mortgage. Hey, I need to
Okay.
get pre-approved, or hey, I've already got financing, and it'll work them through a process of working that out. But again, you can put text and links in there for your own preferred vendors or local vendors as well. Okay.
so even like, even though it goes to Keller Mortgage, I can remove that and put like, we have a relationship with Evolve Bank. Is that what I can do?
Yeah, and that would be back in when we were editing the
Editing.
steps in the
Okay.
buyer's guide.
Good to
Yeah,
know.
you could totally remove that step if you didn't want that option. And if you, like I said, if you've got a preferred vendor and you wanted to add that step in with their information, contact
Mhm.
info, and the link in there, you can put hyperlinks in that text area as well. So yeah, absolutely, you could personalize that. Now on that one, they would need to click into it and read through, and then click on the link. It wouldn't automatically launch over there like the other one does, but you can still put the link and the info in there.
Okay. And I'm curious,
And
on this
what's that?
website or on the app, I'm just looking through it too, like where I can see view my profile. So like I never put anything in there. Someone else, it must have been like an auto download from Keller Williams. Can you edit that as well, or just leave it?
Which area are you in, Jennifer?
So when I'm in the app, I'm looking at view profile. It's only just
Okay.
me. Like my clients wouldn't see it. Well, I'm sure they would see it, but it's for me to see. It's under my agent home screen, I guess, basically. It says my name, my license number, and then there's a little thing that says view profile. And there's about Jennifer, which I never filled anything out. So I'm just curious. Where did I?
Okay,
So
like here.
So I went to more. I went to more. Let's see.
Yeah, can you see what's on my screen? I went to more.
Yeah,
and then
yeah.
my account, then I go to profile, and it's got all my basic information in there already.
Yeah, yours is a little bit more because all I get is the view profile, and it's already has the address. It doesn't have like what you have to edit.
Are you? But does it have your actual information in there? So you are signed in?
Yeah, it does have my information.
Okay.
And it has the address. I'm just curious, like, why choose me as your agent? I didn't fill any of that out before, or it must just be auto from.
Yeah, that stuff actually comes from your marketing profile, Jennifer.
Okay, so I have to go into command. Yep.
Yeah, when we went to the command settings and we go to the marketing profile, like right
Oh, okay.
smack dab in the middle of the marketing profile, it literally has that little bio area, and the default
Okay.
is that why would you choose me as your agent? That you're going to want to go into command and
makes sense.
definitely update that for yourself or for your team. Yeah,
Yeah, I will.
absolutely.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah, good questions. Back to the buyer's guide. The last thing I want to show here was what I mentioned before for the home insurance. Once again, if you see my screen, if I click on that, that's this other smart step I mentioned that just automatically shoots you over to Keller Covered. Okay. If that's something that you guys want to use, again, that's fine. If not, you could always delete that step and then add your own preferred or local vendors as well, just like we talked about the mortgage lenders.
Okay, perfect.
Okay.
Oh, this has been so helpful.
Yeah, I love doing this on the phone. I'm so glad this worked.
Yeah.
And then a couple more things I'll show before we get off of here. If we go to that more button on the bottom right, like you were talking about before, okay, you can see they do have the links for Keller Covered, Keller Mortgage. The mortgage calculator is in there. But what I wanted to show is under other, you've got the Share the KW app. And when I click on that, this is just like when you share anything else on your phone. You can see my beautiful wife there, obviously who I text the most, and then us and our boys. But yeah, you could text us, you could email it, any of your Gmail, you can put it to Facebook, et cetera, et cetera. So just so you know what it looks like, if I had somebody I just wanted to text this to, it is the easiest way to do it within the app. You literally just come in here, share the app. If I click on text message, it just pops this
Yep.
open. It gives the link right there, which would be branded to you. And it says, hey, I use the KW app to search for homes, download it now, but you could change that text message and personalize that as well. And then up on the top, of course, choose whoever you want the recipient to be. Like if my best friend James, if I wanted to send this to him,
Mhm.
whoops. Oh no, I don't, oops, I must be hitting random numbers.
Mhm.
There he is, James Valenzuela right there. Okay. I could send that to him.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yep.
So just a quick, easy way to do it on your phone. Okay.
And then, is there a way, and I'm just, I'm not tech savvy, is there a way to get a, like a barcode, if someone scanned a barcode that would go to that app? And like, if you're at an open house and you want to put it on something, you don't have time to share with them?
like a QR code.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I don't have a preferred site that I use, but you can literally Google free QR codes.
Yeah.
And what they do is they have you put in a URL on there, and then they will create the little QR code graphic for you. And when
Mhm.
you download that, you can put it on business cards. You could add it to a flyer, you know, if you got an
That's what I'm
open house.
thinking, like, so that they can go right to this app.
Yeah, like one thing
Okay.
I've seen people do is they'll have it on an open house.
Yeah.
Like Ash Gale, he does an iPad and forces people to do a digital sign in off of a landing page so that their
Mhm.
contact information is automatically captured in command. But he had the graphic on the web page as well with the QR code, like you were asking. And so while they're standing there, they can literally just, hey, if you want to search for other homes, just grab our app, and they just scan it, and boom, they've got your app right there, which is fabulous.
But then when they do that, do I capture them as far as I could?
Yes,
Okay.
because when you set up the QR code, use your branded KW app link. Yes.
Right.
And then it would. If you just use that generic link, then no, you would not. But that's why you want to make sure to check command for your homework and see if you've got that in there. If you do, that's the link you want to be using. Absolutely.
Okay. I'm gonna try that and let you know how it works.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because I just find from doing these open houses, sometimes there are 100 people. So it's,
Oh,
you can't
yeah.
get, and they don't want to sign anything, walk around. And so just to capture them, that would be the easiest way to go.
Yeah, and then kind of after the fact, whether it's open houses or whether you're trying to get it out there, Jennifer, the other thing that I like to show up, and they did bring it up when we walked through the Wizard, they, you know, set you up with that 3-step smart plan. I don't know if you guys have engaged in smart plans or not, but since Mega Camp last year, they've allowed people to now upload your smart plans, and you can actually go to the library. Can you see my screen okay again?
Yeah.
Okay.
Mhm.
I switched over again, so I just want to make sure. So if I come up here, I could literally just type in KW app and just search
Mhm.
for that. And I think, yeah, there's like 8 of them here. So here's my new KW app. This is the more popular one. I can't download it because I already downloaded it. It has to be unique ones.
Mhm.
But if I grab this one, you can see I can click on view steps, and it just walks you through. Like, it's cool because if you pause your cursor, it tells you what the text is. So this
Mhm.
one is over 9 days, so about a week and a half. There's 7 steps, but some of those steps are delays. So it's 9 days, 4 client touches. That's not bad.
So we
That's
are using this, but we use it in Boomtown.
okay.
And they call it a drip, drip plan, smart drip plan.
Okay,
And
so it's similar to
but
a
I like
smart
this.
plan then.
But it's good to know that I can do it on here too.
Yeah, and this, like I said, this one's good because you can go to the library now and just download a pre-made
Right.
one. You don't even have to do it on your own. And then once you download it, you can customize it obviously with your stuff.
Mhm.
And then here within the preview window, you can actually see what the text says. If I just pause
Right.
there, then there's a delay, then it sends an email, then a delay, then another text. Again, pause, and
Mhm.
it tells me what it is. So I'm going to add that to my smart plan. Say download. There we go. Success. Your KW app was added to your smart plans. And now when I come over here, boom, I've got my brand new KW app. If I
Mhm.
click on that arrow, there's all the steps,
Mhm.
and I can always go over. The pencil icon is always your edit icon. I could go over here and edit this,
Edit it. That's
put my
fine.
information in, and then I would tag people when you capture people from your open houses. Tag
Mhm.
those contacts when you get them into command, and just shoot them right into the smart plan and say, hey, feel
Yeah.
free to download our app.
And that's, I like those smart plans because like I have one that really worked is like by Wednesday, Thursday, I'll send out a text saying, hey, I'm
Yeah.
doing my schedule for showings next week. Is there anything you want to see? Any days you want to? And I've actually get people say, okay, yeah, I want to do it here or there. And so that's been a
Exactly.
good one. So, okay, good. This is
Yeah,
great.
those are great. Some people I've been finding there's a good mix of like some people that have really engaged them and they're seeing good success, and some are like, have never even touched them. I'm like, why have you not touched these yet? So
Well,
yeah,
and
good
it is,
time
it's-
savers and good ways to like reach out automatically, whether it's before the
Yeah.
fact or after an open house. Like these are fantastic for follow-up
Yeah.
for an open house.
So
So,
it's kind of, because we're straddling, because we use Boomtown, but I know that I need to know Command just as well. So that's why I'm trying to,
yeah. Or,
chip it
or
off.
if there's things in Command that boot, and it's nothing wrong with using another service.
Yeah.
There's plenty of agents and teams that do that, trust me.
Mhm.
But if there's the areas in Command that maybe your other service is not doing, or like in here, you can take this app thing, you can promote it out on as a Facebook ad and get it out to an unknown audience, and that could be lead generation for you guys as well.
I know, I
you know?
know.
So,
So-
all kinds of options. Yeah.
I know. I keep looking at all your classes and I'll have to do the landing page one again. I've done landing pages and other business stuff,
Yeah.
but understanding how it can work better here. And
Right.
so don't worry, I always look at what you're offering next.
Okay. Well, that's good to know.
Yeah.
Yeah. I have a live
Yours-
audience and a virtual audience.
Yours is the only one I go and look at regularly, so I
Oh, right
appreciate
on.
everything. Well, this
Well, no,
was
I
really
appreciate
good
hearing that.
information.
It's always good to hear feedback on that it's actually a value to you guys, because that's exactly what I'm trying to do. for
Huge,
you.
huge.
Yeah. Awesome.
Okay.
Awesome.
Well, thank you so much. I
Okay.
appreciate it.
Oh, you're welcome, Jennifer. Yeah, it's
Right.
kind of cool that we had a one-on-one, because then I could dive down all the rabbit holes. with
Yeah,
you and
I'm
check
not,
it out.
I'm not complaining. All right, I'll talk to you later.
Okay, great. Have a great week. Okay.
Bye-bye, you too.
All right. Bye-bye.